Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Planning channel. I'm excited to be here today. I'm excited to be here with you, getting into the month of June and starting fresh with a new month. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm so happy and excited to have you here. I do monthly budgets, I do paycheck to paycheck budgets, I do weekly check-ins, sinking funds, and a savings tracker. That's usually one video put together. So if you're interested in any of that, please go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and comment in the comments below and give me a like on this channel and share it with anybody that you think it might help. I'm excited to grow this channel and hopefully have 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. So that is the goal, and I would love to have you here as part of the community. So I go through things in details. I like to know to the penny. I like those kind of things. You don't have to do that. You can round up, you can round down, whatever budget works best for you, whether it's on tablet, Excel spreadsheet, an app. But just listening and following along can give you some ideas and inspiration on your budget. So here we are. We have an interesting pay schedule in my family if you're new. If you're not new, you already know. My husband has a state job that pays twice a month. The middle of the month and then the last day of the month. So the last day of May is the first of June's money. I use the money in that check to cover the first of the month's bills. Now, my husband also is retired Navy. He has a military retirement. He has VA disability. And our son we have an adult son that pays rent, that lives with us. And then my husband's first salary check already hit today. These have not come to the bank accounts until tomorrow. I see the pending deposits will be ready to go tomorrow, but this one's already been checked off because it's already hit the bank account. Now, at the first of the month, we pay a lot of bills and transfer money. I am just starting to do my sinking funds and my Roth transfer on the first when the cash comes in. And then the next paycheck, which would be this $13.50 here, will happen on the 15th. So another thing I have to pay attention to is making sure I have enough money from these first checks to carry me over and balance to this paycheck period, and make sure I have enough for the spending for the rest of the month and all the bills are taken care of. So I have to stretch it and spread it out throughout the month, and that's where budgeting comes in. And this is how I can keep using a credit card without paying any interest. This is how I don't overdraft or bounce checks or have any issues or problems with my bank accounts, because I look at them regularly, which a lot of people don't want to do, but when you do it and you start seeing the positive strides, it can almost be addicting. I admit I am sucked into this. I like knowing, and I like knowing every penny in, every penny out, and making sure my family's taken care of and finding those little bits of area where we can save money. Mainly because this past year, my husband went from a high-paying job to a low-paying job in his salaries. So we are still adjusting to that. We're still spending like we did previously, but I had it budgeted and we can spend every penny we have. But I kind of want to figure a way to cut back, and I haven't quite figured that out yet. So we'll be working on that. Now that I've said all of that, as you can see, I have everything laid out. I know what happens before the 15th of the month. So the 1st through the 15th is what we are looking at as far as the first paycheck period. The second paycheck period is the 15th through the 30th, and that is what we have in bills. So now that I know past couple months, we only have 2 paycheck periods. It's the same bills every paycheck periods because those dates don't really change very often, and or it actually hasn't changed at all. So I know exactly what bills are going where and when. And I can easily calculate that I need this much money for the bills for the first paycheck period, and I need this much exact amount for the second paycheck period. Where it gets a little tricky is how to budget for your spending categories and what you spend on a regular basis. So let's go ahead and move to the monthly budget. This is the color pattern for this month. It's not the purple that you just saw, even though I love the color purple. It's my favorite color. I wanted something different for June, and this is what I have. These are like little envelopes, love letter pouches or whatever, roses and hearts and stuff. It's pretty. So what we're looking at this month, pre-planning and just kind of writing down my thoughts. I actually write scripture every month where the faith of my channel comes in, and I write down prayer. This month's scripture is Proverbs 21:20, and the Amplified version is what I wrote. There is precious treasure and oil in the house of the wise, who prepare for the future, but a short-sighted and foolish man swallows it up and wastes it. So I thought this was a really good reminder in our spending categories. Are we treating it as treasure, precious treasure and oil? In ancient times, obviously oil was very precious because that's where they got their light and their lamps and stuff like that, and especially in the darkness of night, things like that. I love this scripture. It was definitely it definitely reminded me to think about and think things through as we're doing our spending categories, especially the eating out, which we're having trouble with, and how to budget for that and make sure that I'm not being short-sighted and foolish where I waste the money that God has given us, because we are put here to steward that money and steward it well. So that's what I got out of that scripture. I enjoyed that. It says here, when I wrote this out, it said, Lord, I pray to you that you help me to make wise choices with the income you have provided for our family. I pray that you will guide me in the wisdom and prepare for the future for me and my family. So I basically prayed back the scripture that that I chose for this month of June. And I think it's a good start to June, because June is where we splurge. June is where we go out and have a little more fun and buy go out to dinner and have more fun with our friends and family and stuff like that. So I really wanted to pay attention to that. Important dates. This is my month to count the tithing at church. My dad's birthday, my son's birthday, he's turning 20. Father's Day is this month on the 16th. A Tender's Mercy Breakfast, that's a Bible study group I go to on the 18th, and where we're going to eat. So those are important dates and things to remember. I think I'm just going to see if I can give my husband a little bit of money. I might take it out of savings. It'll be fine. $100, $200 for him to enjoy however he wants for Father's Day, and a cute card. I think that's what I'm going to do. So I had this little sticker here. This was part of my scripture writing and journaling prompt, Lisa's Faith scripture writing and journaling prompt channel. And I just thought the piggy and to do and this right here was just really, really cute. And it was part of that sticker kit I got for that, for my other channel for the month of May. That was what the stickers were. So I just thought it was super cute. And it kind of went with the colors and the themes that I'm using here. Weekly check-ins. I'm doing 4 weekly check-ins this month. 2 paycheck budgets. These are what I'm filming. 1 mortgage Monday. 2 sinking funds. The sinking funds, I do 2 videos. I set it up and then I close it out for the month. And then 1 monthly budget we're doing today. And budget close out at end of the month. So there we go. That is what I have there. Now to the monthly budget. Here we go. Here's all the numbers. Now, if you watched my closeout video, you would have seen me write this number in, and this is what balanced forward from the month of May into the month of June. I needed this amount to actually complete what I needed for the entire month. Here we go. Military retirement, we have $1,898.12. Here, VA disability is $2,428.91. Rent and dividends. So I'm just putting the rent $803. Dividends come later after the first of the month or 1st of June happens, and it'll be deposited. It's like 3 or 4 pennies. It's not a lot, but it helps me to keep everything accurate when I put everything in the actuals. Salary. So I am budgeting. I finally have a good place to start. And then I will go up and down from there once my husband gets paid. But our budget amount is $1,315. I knew there's a 5 in there somewhere. And then $1,315. That's what I'm budgeting. I'll put the actual in when I do, well, actually, this is my monthly budget. I only do this budget once. My biggest reason for doing a monthly budget, not just going straight into the paycheck to paycheck, is to make sure I have enough income coming in to support the expenses going out. And if it's not and it's negative, there's something I need to do. So I always, by the time I get on camera, I have all that figured out. So I'm never give you I don't ever give a negative amount, but who knows? I might do that one day. We'll see. So where am I at? I do know these are already pending deposits. So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite them here as our actuals. I can see them in my bank account, 242891. I know this is, well, I'm not going to write this one because I don't know what the change is yet. So I will put the actual of that when that happens. And then here, I know this one is 1315. I want to say it's 98. All right, I was very close. It's 97. There you go. So that went up a little bit. This stayed the same, and this I'm going to wait and see if any other deposits happen this month. We are putting several 401ks and Roths and stuff like that into one company, Edward Jones, and he's helping us with our friend is helping us with that. And he's doing an amazing job, and I am excited for that. So there might be, as we're moving from one account to another, like we have for the past couple of months, getting extra small random deposits, and I want a place to put that. So we're only going to work with the budgeted side today. I did go ahead and put those actuals. That is fine. Get my calculator ready over here, and we are going to total up this amount of income that we have for the month of June. I'm struggling on what month we're in. It's just so much is going on. Let's see. Let's total this up. Go ahead and write this number down. I have 8,100, or not 100, 1553. $8,015.53. There we go. So that's what I'm working with. This is what I guess is coming in. Even though that's increased by 97 cents, I'm not going to worry about that until I do the actuals, so it's not a problem here. All right. Now we need to put down our expenses. So these are the same bills you saw listed on the calendar for our monthly bills. These are fixed expenses. And then when you get to here, these are our spending categories. I don't want to add extra to this, too many things happening this month, so it has to fall in these 6 categories. If I need to spend money in the buffer of the checking account, I would add it here in unbudgeted. I don't have a big buffer. I don't really have a buffer in the checking account this month, so I have to really, really pay attention to my spending categories as we're going through the entire month, which is going to be hard because it's June and families move into town and travel and all the things. So yeah, lots of things are happening right now, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully I budget enough. So we are givers. We love to tithe. We love to give. So at the beginning of the month, a lot of our tithing comes out, and then when we have paychecks, those tithing comes out. So the first thing we have is God's outreach. Now these are in order of the dates they typically come out. So it's not like I'm not tithing first fruits or beginnings or whatever. If you are a faith person, you would understand that. I'm tithing it when the timing of the income happens. So, and then what date it actually comes out of the checking account. So that's how I put that together. God's outreach, which is a food bank here for our local community, and it's 9506. PHC, Pregnancy Help Center, for women who want help with their pregnancy and don't have insurance and things like that. See the mortgage. So the mortgage is a combination of our mortgage plus $550 principal only payment in order to pay it off in 15 years. And I do a Mortgage Monday video on that. So we have $2,522.96 total that gets taken out at the first of every month. So Spectrum, that actually dropped. I am not sure why. And I need to go through the PDF on Spectrum on why it dropped. I don't know if they overcharged us for something or not, but this time it was $149.31. I'm happy it dropped because it was $171. I don't know. We'll see. This is good until August or September when I have to go back and say, can we negotiate something else? Which I hate doing every year, but you know, it happens. So music, my husband has a subscription with Amazon Music where all his music is located. $10.59. Paramount Plus, we're still watching that. There's other things that we watch on it besides what my son wanted this month. And I've had this one for years. So we have that. The reason I have it here on my checking account auto drafted instead of doing an annual subscription with my sinking funds, where most of our subscriptions go, is because it was cheaper to do it this way. If I paid the annual, it actually was a few dollars more than if I did this. So I just left it here. So Roth IRA, this is me transferring into a money market account $100. I turned 50 in October, and I'm glad I'm waiting because we're setting up a new Roth for me at Edward Jones instead of New York Life. And I am excited about that, so I can do that deposit later this year. And if you're 50 and older, you can do $8,000. So that's what I'm going to do. We'll see how next year turns out. Hopefully we can increase our income where I can start contributing fully for an entire year. Sinking funds. I'll probably have to make an adjustment, but for right now, I'm putting what I put last month, which is $445 and what was it? 99 cents? Yeah, 99 cents. Because it's not really changing this time period, and I can't remember if you think... I'm not sure what comes out this time period, so I'll have to take a look at that when I do my sinking funds video. And then tithe. So I increased our tithing because I noticed our income. If I take out the $255.50, this is what income comes in. So I wanted all the tithing combined, the God's Outreach, the PHC, the salary tithing I have here, and then Greater Europe Missions to be 10% of what we had. And in order to get the 776, which is 10% of our income, actual earning income coming in, I had to increase it by $30, I think, for the salary. And that's what we did. So I made that adjustment, and that is $168.18. It's very important to us that we do that 10%. It's part of our faith. It's part of what we want to do. We didn't always do 10%. Long time ago, we only did $75 a paycheck, and we didn't have other income streams, so it wasn't a lot. But it was not our decision that we had on how much to give. It was actually in prayer with my husband, and that's what God laid on our hearts. So sometimes He asks you to do less. Sometimes He asks you to do more. You just never know. So it's the obedience of what He tells you to do is what's important to us. So that's what we're doing here. Let's see, what's next? Greater Europe Mission. These are missionaries that we absolutely love and adore. $256.75. A lot of these have processing fees, and that's why it's an odd number. And that is what we are paying for. We are not making these charities and missions pay for that amount. So we're paying on top of, including. And so that's what we do there. NutriSense, I have a sensor on my arm for type 2 diabetes, and it's $265 a month. I'm only doing this for 6 months. This will drop in September, I think, or the last one's in September. I can't remember which, because it's not sustainable for me to continue to keep it, but it has been helping me. It's helped me be educated in what I needed to know, and for a time period I probably won't have it, and it will drop. And if I feel like I need it again, then we'll figure it out later. But for right now, I did a 6 month, and it's $265 a month. I would put it through insurance, but they won't cover it because I'm not insulin dependent. So I'm doing it for multiple reasons, not just the diabetes. But it is part of health for me. Water, we're going to budget $50. It's more than what we need. My water averages $30 to $35. So that gives me a little wiggle room when we go to electric, that if it's up, it covers it. And if I need more, that comes on the buffer checking account. HP ink, that's the ink and printer stuff that I have. That is $7.41 a month. YouTube Premium is a non-negotiable for us. It's $24.92. The commercials were getting upsetting for my sons and with their autism, and it was just difficult for them to cope with, and that's usually where they watch, or what they typically watch. So yeah, I took the commercials off, got all 5 of us, or 5 emails that we have for our family, and we all have YouTube Premium under one household, so that's pretty cool. Geico, that's $178. I look for it. $178.03. I don't know what's going to be next month. It's a new policy, so I hope it doesn't go up again. More than likely it will. Electric is going to be $150 budgeted. That's going to be adjusted. It's usually a little higher, but it's starting to average out a little bit more, so it's okay. And it's plenty with the water that I have. The overage I have in the water for what I need for this month. AT&T, we have our phones. I just figured up that we have $20 and some change that we're paying on leasing 2 phones in addition to our AT&T bill, and that is $285.49. So if we did $21, let's say $285.49 minus 21 minus 21, $243.49 is what our actual service is. Unlimited text, talk, and data, because they just don't pay attention to those things. And it's for 4 adults, 4 phones. And so yeah, it's high. I could do some of the others, but I'm in a rural area and I barely get a signal at my house, so I'm not sure. AT&T is like the best quality signal we have out here, so I'm not sure if I could switch to anybody else, especially once I pay off the other phones. So that's what we keep doing. The next thing is the second salary check tithe, which is $168.18. There we go. Which is more than the salary. It's just adjusting for the other incomes, basically, is what I did there. And I wanted to give more to my church. So those have specific charities, and then the salary is where we tithe to our church. So that's where that money goes to. And we're paying the processing fee. Life insurance one, it was a family life insurance plan I've had for years for $87.56. It's a term policy, and then one of my sons aged out of it. That didn't change, but I got him his own policy for us, and that's $33.16. And I got the highest, this was the max I could get for him, so that's what I got. I don't know if I was wise, but that's what my gut said to do, so I did it. Let's see, just USCCA, that's my husband's bill. That is $39.17. Apple.com is mine, $2.99. For storage, Discovery Plus is $8.99. They only have it monthly, I think. I don't think they have an annual to put it in sinking funds, but that's okay. Vivint is our home security system. If you're interested, I have a code in the description box. If it does not work, let me know. I haven't had anybody use it in a while. You save money and we save money. Let's see what else is left. Okay, so the spending categories. Whew. All right, so we bumped grocery household back up to $1,600 because I know with family being in town, my parents moving here and all that, and a birthday party and stuff, that we're going to have to, and Father's Day, good Lord, we're going to have to make sure we have enough money for all the groceries and the household items that we purchase. And it's going to be more than enough. So it's going to give me a little buffer in this spending category section. Restaurants, we're hoping to stay under $600. We'll see. Miscellaneous, I did drop down to $300 because we've been averaging that every month. So I'm looking at miscellaneous as a totally different way than what I used to. I used it partly for my personal money as well as miscellaneous things that we need. Now that I'm not doing that, miscellaneous has dropped down quite a bit and I'm not using it nearly as much. And I'm thinking twice about what I buy. I'm going to put $200, and if I have to go out of town, I will just use savings for that to pay for it. And I'm still putting $100 for copay because we did have one doctor's appointment that will be paid for next month. That's $25, and then we'll have prescriptions renewed. So I want to make sure we have enough. That's more than enough for that. As 0 for unbudgeted, I only put this on here because I do have to write the actuals. Let me rewrite that because that was horrible. There we go. All right, there we go. So I can put the actuals in later and we'll be good to go, but let's go ahead and total up the expenses and get a balance for that. Okay, so now I know my numbers. Now I know what income's coming in and what I have available to spend. So let's see if we can get this in balance to make sure I have a few dollars left as a buffer of the checking account. So this is going to be a tight month because I'm pretty much budgeting every penny that we have. So I have $8,015.53 minus the $2,519.19 and minus the $491.36. I was hitting every button wrong. All right, did I skip over the mortgage? Let me do this one again. Okay, that's number really off. That's supposed to be 2, not a 4. Did I just read the number wrong? I don't know what I did there. Did I forget $1,000? I don't know. Let's try this one more time. So $8,015.53 minus $4,519.19, and then minus the $3,491.36. Okay, that's the number I'm looking for. So my buffer this month, and I didn't leave room to write it anywhere, so I think I'm just going to skip a line and call this buffer. Budgeted is actually $4.98. That's not included in this number. If I include it in this number, it makes it a zero-based budget, and that's fine. That's not how I actually run things. I like to keep buffers in my checking account, and that is actually making it a zero-based budget because that buffer has a drop. So yeah, that's what the number I was looking for. $4.98. That is the lowest buffer I've had in a long, long time, and that's cutting it close. So I know $3. Here's how close I really cut it. $3.50 of that is actually a tip. I completely forgot to include when I paid the credit card back on an eating out charge that my husband had because the tip wasn't included in the pending process. And I forgot, I had the tip number, I just forgot to do the math with that. So technically I brought my budget down to $1.48. So everything coming in is everything going out. And I had to leave money in the account from the previous month in order to cover all this. So that's why I'm thinking, okay, when I reach the $265, when I'm done with that bill, and I know what affects my body, I know what the app is telling me, and I just need to take care of myself. Yes, I could do finger sticks. No, I'm not gonna. I actually have panic attacks when I have to do it. So just because for some reason I can do the sensor on my arm and poke it in and all that, but I can't sit there and prick my finger and draw blood and all that. I can't do it. I have panic attack every single time. So once that's done, unless I feel like I have to have it again, I'm not going to renew that, and that's just going to keep us in balance. So now is the time to start going, well, how can I lower my spending categories effectively and make it consistent so I can have more wiggle room in the budget? I'd like to have a couple $100 left over every month of actual income coming in and not have to use any savings. That is my goal. So this is my monthly budget. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos, subscribe to the channel. And if you have questions, comments, concerns, whatever, put them in the comment section below. And I hope you have an amazing and blessed day. Bye.